Okay, time to wind down part three of, yes, the Lehigh Valley does have a poetry and spoken word scene. Part one covered the high points, part two went a little longer than I planned, but it covered the low points. And it was mainly stuff you notice if you live here or visit the area frequently. Part three, this is the editorial part, and it's based on my experience and observations as the founder of a magazine, as a poet, and a self-published author. So, part three is, okay, here's some things that I don't understand, and some things that just, honestly, that some ideas, and you can apply, look at the area that you live in, from small towns to major cities. This is not only, about the Lehigh Valley. You can apply this article to no matter where you live. I'm sure it's like this in other areas. Okay, it's just I live here. Fortunately, I live in a great area called the Lehigh Valley, where there's a lot going on. So this is not restricted to the Lehigh Valley. This is just to give you an idea what's here. But please apply this to no matter where you live. Okay. What I can't figure out, and maybe I'm way off base here, is why is our poetry and open mics, there's a very limited type of place where you get to experience this, see and experience this. Mainly it's like your art galleries and coffee houses, okay? Poetry is wide open as to what you can write about and how you can express yourself. I don't know about where you live, but here I don't think I've even heard of, hey, you know what? Let's try to do a poetry reading in an open mic in a sports bar. The area has a lot of them, trust me. I know it sounds kind of strange, but think about this, okay? Number one, it's way different. A way different venue. Number two, you are going to run a good chance of attracting more new people and different people. Number three, why not have a sports theme to your poem, to your poetry reading and open mic? During football season, you know what? And I actually might try this, is, okay, instead of writing a boring sports poem, look at it from a different angle. You might start attracting sports fans to these things. The Lehigh Valley, in addition to the arts, has a great music scene, okay? And I may get in trouble for this, and no, I don't care. But I looked at Matt Wolf as one of the main organizers, is one of the main people who really, and he works hard at this. He works hard, and I took notice to this year that him, Cleveland Wall, and a few others are trying to actually change the way things are done, okay? But I looked at him point blank, and I said, hey, Matt, I said, when is the arts and music scene going to merge here at Points? And and I said, basically, it's like, okay, for open mic for poetry readings and open mics, why not have a rock theme to it? Why not have a blues theme to it? And at the very least, try to get a few members of some local bands to at least check it out, okay? Why not do that? And you will, if you could figure out a way, making the mistakes, but figure out a way to pull it off, the amount of people that you stand a moderate to good chance of actually showing up is worth it, honestly. Yes, you will get the people that there for the music, okay? But you know what? And I was just, I thought of this just because I was still fresh off the Blast Springs Blues Festival and heard James Supers doing a harmonica solo. You know what? I would love to see somebody write a poem and actually do a spoken word to one of his harmonica solos, even if it's only 2 minutes. Okay? And I'm actually picturing this right now, and it's just, it may not work. Okay? These ideas may not work. I may not have the first clues to what I'm talking about. But in part 2, I said downsides to it. At least give it a shot. And this goes no matter where you live. Stop. It's time to drop the old concepts and the way things have been done for God knows how long. Okay? Try, especially in an area like the Lehigh Valley where there's so much potential. Even if you want to stick to doing it in an art gallery. Okay? It may be a little difficult, but you know what? Most art exhibit openings have music in one form or another. Okay, you have the music there. Why not have an open mic? Why not have a poetry reading or an open mic? Try to set up 2 of them. One, the second one, hey, it brings the attention back to the exhibit a few weeks later, or about halfway through. Bam, I completely agree with that, okay? But why not do it in an exhibit opening where you have the people there to see the art already? You already have a crowd at the exhibit opening. It may have been tried, it may have failed, I don't know. But if, you know, these are all things that I would give a shot to, at least a serious shot to. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. At least come up with an idea, talk to them. Lehigh Valley Steelhawks. The Philadelphia Flyers farm team is the Phantoms. You know, this area, sports, music, arts, local businesses, there's a ton, huge fans and supporters all over. Okay? So, you know, these are just some suggestions as to how, you know, to bring, this area has a lot of great poets, a lot of great writers in it. And the fact that that it's actually, I don't like using the word underground, but it's like everything else. There's no reason why it can't be known. There's no reason why you can't have one night on a weekend and be out with the large, you know, and maybe have try and get this couple, or during the week, a couple of members of the Large Flowerheads on a weekend. There is no reason under the sun why you can't say, you know what, let's kick this out, let's do something totally different. Let's do a rock theme to it. And especially above everything else, music lyrics, a lot of them are poetry in one form or another. So, and I may get people, this whole article, I may have people pissed off at me, but this is the way this journalist sees it. This journalist and author sees it. So, if I pissed you off, and again, if you see me outside, if you see me when I'm out, feel free to come right up to me and say, you know what, dude, you don't have the first, you're right, you don't have the first clue. But I would really love to see, and I think a lot of, you know, you would get a lot more people interested and really start packing, you know, really start getting the crowds. Just, you're already a writer. One of your first talents is creativity. Just gotta maybe think in different ways at times. So, and by the way, this does apply to the magazine and everything I do. If you find you're getting bored with it, do me a favor, point blank. Dude, I'm bored, you suck, these are the reasons why, and I do listen, and I do pay attention to the feedback and listen. So, thank you very much. Hopefully I did not drag this out too far and lose your attention, but please, the Lehigh Valley, honestly and sincerely, the Lehigh Valley does have a poetry and spoken word scene. It may be hard to find the events at times, but check it out. At least go out and add it onto your list to experience it one time, because there are writers and poets here that will bring out the emotion and make you feel it, and what they write, you can look at your life and relate to easily. Okay? Even second nature. So, as always, thank you for checking out this article. Thank you for checking out the magazine. No matter where you live, to you, your family, and friends, above all, and I know you hear me say this all the time, and I'm dead sincere about it, please be safe in the night, and always, Michael Phoenix, A Valley and Beyond.